Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman Movie Report, the show where I talk about a movie I have recently watched at my local movie theatre. This week I'm going to talk about Stan&Ollie. Stan&Ollie is the quarter biopic about the lives of famous 1930s stars Laura and Hardy. And Laura and Hardy's small backstory: they were these post-silent movie comedy stars who would do these gags in movies in the 1920s, 1930s and 1940s, where they would do silly stuff like falling over the ladder, falling downstairs, hitting each other over the head, and do silly dances. They were very famous in those times, and their stardom somewhat died out in post-World War II world because, times changed. And that's exactly what this movie deals with, because it begins in 1937, where the two stars, played by John C. Reilly, who plays the big one, Oliver Hardy, and Steve Coogan, who plays the skinny one, Stan&Ollie. And in 1937, they are in the top of their career. Everyone wants to work for them. Everyone wants to be them. Everyone wants to be with them. But then, in some years later, in 1953, we meet them again on a world tour, or just I must say a UK tour, and their stardom has really fallen because at the very beginning of their tour, they live in this small tavern slash hotel, and the portier, or let's say the manager, that's what it's called in American, she greets them, and she said, "Oh, my grandmother, she loves you guys," and that really shows them that times have changed. But they begin this UK tour, and it's really rough for them in the beginning because the theatres which the British manager or British agent, let's call it that instead, has rented, the audiences are very few in numbers, and that really affects them because they began up here and then they have gone down there in their notoriety. And the movie, of course, deals with that. They want to do this. It's a back or a subplot of the movie that Stan, he wants to make this Robin Hood satire movie, and he uses some of the movie or the time the period which the movie deals with to perfect this Robin Hood script, but. Later in the film, he sadly learns that from a British producer who he thought would finance the movie, that nobody wants to watch a Laura and Hardy pick in 1953. So and having to deal with that the world has moved on is very hard for these guys, and the movie really deals with that in many instances. And I must say, John C. Reilly, he really shines in this role, and you really get to see that I have mostly seen John C. Reilly in these I burn my cookies satirical falling over ladders satire films, but he really displays in this role here that he's able to be a serious actor. And that's a bit of a shame that we haven't seen him act seriously, or I haven't seen him act in a serious role before, and most likely, I don't know if we're going to see him in a serious role later in his career, but he can really act. He really shows that in Stan&Ollie. And the movie is, it's heartwarming, and it's a bit sad in some ways as well, because seeing these two former stars having fallen from grace to some instances, it must have been really hard for the two real Stan&Ollie to experience that, and it also, of course, deals with one of the guys, John C. Reilly's character's Oliver's physical problems, because as you guys of course remember, Oliver Hardy, he was very much overweight, and the whole stuff about that, the movie of course deals with the consequences of that as well. But I must say, the 2 hours running time was, but it didn't matter to me, because it was a good story, a heartwarming story about two celebrities at the end of their career coming to terms with, that, and staying friends, and good film, good acting, and what else is there to say? I'm gonna give it 3.8 out of 5 stars. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you like this movie talk / movie review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews / movie talks, you can click a link in the description. And I promise this time I will return next week with another movie talk / movie review. Until then, have a pleasant weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.